This is CBS 47 Eyewitness News this morning in high definition.
And a historic summit now underway. President Trump is now meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Helsinki.
They're meeting alone for an hour and a half, which has some people concerned the president could make unnecessary concessions. Trump says this may be the easiest meeting on his trip. Natasha Chen live from Washington, D.C. now with more on what the two leaders are talking about this morning.
The two world leaders are now sitting behind closed doors in their very first one-on-one meeting in Helsinki. Now, Russian President Vladimir Putin was delayed in getting to Helsinki today, pushing back the whole schedule for the meetings. Then President Trump chose not to leave his hotel until Putin had arrived at the presidential palace. The two then sat down for a brief photo opportunity and made remarks with translators at their sides. Trump first congratulated Putin on the World Cup before previewing their discussion topics.
Most importantly, we have a lot of good things to talk about and things to talk about. We have discussions on everything from trade to military to missiles to nuclear to China. We'll be talking a little bit about China. Our mutual friend, President Xi.
Putin said very little, that it was time to have a business-like conversation because there is so much happening in the world. Now, the U.S. elections did not come up in these brief comments, but Trump had previously mentioned he would like to mention that during their meeting. This comes just 3 days after 12 Russian nationals were indicted for election interference. Putin has previously denied any involvement. U.S. Secretary Mike Pompeo is also meeting with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov today in Helsinki. That parallel meeting is the first since Pompeo became Secretary of State. Live in Washington, Natasha Chen, back to you.
All right, Natasha, thanks so much for that. Right now, firefighters continue battling the deadly Ferguson Fire. It's burning near Yosemite National Park.
It's in the Savage Trading Post area west of Yosemite between Mid-Pines and El Portal. This broke out Friday night. Firefighter Braden Varney was killed Saturday on the fire line. He drove a bulldozer for CAL FIRE. He leaves behind a wife and 2 kids.
We have live team coverage this morning on the fire. Anthony Bailey is live in the Weather Center with conditions those firefighters are facing. But first, we go to our Fabiola Ramirez live in Oakhurst. Fabiola, good morning.
Good morning. As the firefight continues this morning to put out this fire, there's about 500 personnel that are assigned to the Ferguson Fire. And one of the things that they're trying to deal with right now is steep terrain that is being inaccessible at the moment. They are fighting this fire at locations where they have the highest probability of success. They began constructing contingency fire lines and south and north flanks of the fire. They've also improved structure protection measures along Highway 140. Right now, over 200 structures are threatened, and many people have evacuated already.
What it is bad for the people who come here to try to enjoy the park, but it's nothing you can do about it.
There's a lot of smoke being in Oakhurst as well as close to Yosemite. Now Highway 140 north of Mariposa remains closed due to an ongoing investigation and firefighter activities. As of this morning, they're still trying to investigate what exactly is the cause of the fire. We're also here at Fire Station 12, where they do have the flag at half-staff in memory of that firefighter who lost his life fighting this fire as his dozer went off board and down a terrain. We'll keep you guys the latest update on what we find out this morning of this Ferguson fire. For now, live in Oakhurst, Fabiola Ramirez, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Fabiola, thank you. And that fire is also impacting our air quality.
Yeah, Anthony, what's the latest on that?
We're going to still see some issues from that lingering through the morning hours. The good news is there's a bit of a wind shift going on there. It's going to carry that smoke out of our region here over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. So we'll see improving conditions. But we still do have, of course, an air quality alert issued by, of course, the San Joaquin Air District because of the smoke from that fire lingering in that region. Of course, we are going to see issues there lingering likely into parts of our foothill communities even in the afternoon, but parts parts south of that will not be as impacted as they could be here for us. Of course, the other big issue up there is a heat advisory going on to our north and also back to our west there. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Hot temperatures, the theme of the day back here in the valley floor as well. Mid-70s already and climbing in Fresno as well as Porterville. Mariposa sitting at 71 degrees this morning, and we're in the mid-60s for the Oakhurst area there. Here's a snapshot of the day ahead, folks. It's back to the triple digits. This could be day 10 in a row. How many more could we see? Stay tuned. The full forecast coming up.